Thank you very much, Chairman Issa. Mr. Attorney General, I want to follow up on something Mr. Ross says, because I think we're looking at management and how the DOJ is managed. I think you told him that you were informed about Agent Terry's death, but never heard anything back about it being associated with the guns that walked. I'm the kind of person, maybe our management styles are different, that if an employee under my charge was killed in the line of duty, I would want to be briefed almost on a daily basis as to how that investigation is going. And so I just am asking again, you didn't hear for quite some time that the Fast and Furious guns were involved in this?
Well, no, that's correct. I didn't hear about that for a while. I mean, you know, to draw a distinction here, and I'm almost hesitant to do this, we are talking about a brave law enforcement officer. Well, it wasn't a part, that doesn't matter. I was brought up to date about, you know, the ongoing investigation, what we were doing at the Justice Department, but did not hear anything about the connection between that death and the gun-walking tactics until, as I said, February of 2011.
All right. Well, you know, we've been investigating Fast and Furious for some time. Y'all have been looking at it internally. You've constantly blamed the ATF or the U.S. Attorney's Office in Arizona. I think Mr. Gowdy has made it clear through some of his questions that it actually has gone up to Maine Justice. But I just don't see y'all doing anything. There have been several questions earlier about what you've done, and nobody's been disciplined, and nobody's been fired. There hadn't even been a letter put in. I don't think that's good management, and I think that's the reason that many of my colleagues, myself included, have suggested it might be time for you to resign. My question is that knowing what you know about the handling of Operation Fast and Furious, do you believe you're capable of running the top law enforcement agency in this country? And can you tell the taxpayers that you're the most qualified person to manage the Department of Justice?
First off, let me just say, I have not blamed the people in Phoenix, either ATF or the U.S. Attorney's Office there. I mean, they're good people down there. They work hard, and I'm not going to allow that to stand in the record. I'm not blaming anybody. We want to find out who in those offices might have been responsible, as well as who in Maine Justice is responsible.
Well, don't you think 13 months is a little long to run that investigation?
You got to understand something. I don't have the ability to do a top-to-bottom investigation here because of the Inspector General's investigation, and I've got to respect that. Now, with regard to my capacities to run this department, you know, I'll let the record speak for itself. People have a different view, different views in this room about Fast and Furious and my role in it.
Right, and okay, let me move on. I just have a limited amount of time. You've indicated.
Well, you ask a question. Okay. I mean, questioning whether or not I should resign. I don't have a chance to respond.
All right, that's fine.
Thank you. Now, so if you're going to judge me and ask me to resign, as you have, and has some of your colleagues, you know, you've asked a broad question. And how do you judge that? Well, you look at everything that I've done in this department for the past 3 years, and you look at the department in the state that it was in when I got here. A dispirited department that had gone through scandals, that had the traditions of the department turned on its head. It had been politicized. I will stand on what I've done with regard to the criminal division, the antitrust division, with regard to the civil division and the fraud money that we brought in, the great work we've done on national security. And if you want to say that I'm a person not qualified to be Attorney General, you take that into account as well.
All right, then why are we withholding some of the deliberative documents, too? That's another one of my concerns. Really, a lot of times here in Washington, it's not what actually happens that you get hung on. It's the cover-up. So, you know, I'm concerned that some of those documents are going to show some of the theories that have been floated around, that maybe some delays were put on stopping Fast and Furious based on some of the things the people on the other side of the aisle are calling for now, and additional and more stricter laws. I mean, if there was a political purpose to that, I think the American people have a right to know about that. So I would urge you to release those documents, let us look at them, and let the American people make that decision. But I'm almost out of time, and I've learned from the testimony here that things tend not to bubble up to your desk very often. I did want to make sure sure that you are aware of an operation with the DEA that has 2 Houston, Texas-based pilots being detained in Panama over a money laundering. I realize that's out of the scope of this investigation. You can choose to comment on it or not, but I did want to make sure it bubbled up to your level. And my time has expired.
I thank the gentleman yield.
Yes.
Just quickly, the minority is not objecting to the Cole document from March 10th, 2011, so that is placed in the record. I thank the gentleman. And with that, we go.
Excuse me, did you wish to answer? Or that's what you're welcome to or not.
Yeah, you certainly may respond.
There's a limited amount of information I can talk about that. The DEA leadership has told my staff that the incident you described in your letter was not a DEA operation. I can't respond much more than that, but DEA can provide your staff a briefing with regard to that outside of this setting.
That's fine. I'm just worried about the pilots.
That's fine, sure.
I thank the Attorney General. On December 5th, we actually asked for a briefing on that. We appreciate your commitment to that briefing in an appropriate setting.